Hello, I'm Mike Gordon. Welcome back to my perfect playthrough of Sonic Jam for the Sega Saturn. And after having completed Sonic 2 100%, we are now ready to take on Sonic the Hedgehog 3. As per usual, and before I do, I'm going to show off the time attacks. This is the reason why we have to play each game individually. It's literally because time attack is completely locked off until we've beaten the game. So yeah, I can't just do time attack Sonic 3 in the special stages, time attack Sonic and Knuckles in special stages, and then do Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I have to play the games individually. Sorry guys. By the way, because I'm not interested in doing a perfect playthrough individually of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, we already did that back when we covered this for perfect playthrough number 23. And here is Knuckles' big introduction. Really, I definitely miss the old original Michael Jackson tunes. So yeah, and you can already tell some of the differences between easy mode and original mode. Some missing enemies, an added platform. Obviously, the breakable wall's no longer there. I think there was even a missing spike in there as well. On the bright side, at least this could help serve as some... At least this could potentially act as a warm-up for the time trials themselves, as well as Sonic the Hedgehog for Sonic 3 Knuckles. Though, if I do play Sonic 3 Knuckles, I'm gonna play as Knuckles. And there it is, our first Chaos Emerald. Now, there are two giant rings that we can find in Angel Island Zone. They are fairly convenient to track down, however, so I am gonna go out of my way to track them down. And like the easy modes in Sonic 1 and Sonic 2, we are only playing one act per zone. So this is gonna be a very... okay, I'll admit. This will be a little longer than even my more casual easy mode playthrough of Sonic 2. It's not because there are more levels or more acts for us to go through compared to Sonic 2, because there isn't. There's only 6 levels in vanilla Sonic 3. But these levels are much longer, and every single act requires that we fight a boss. Alright, no spikes coming out of the wall, top of the wall. So yeah, while this one is a tiny bit out of the way, it's not too bad. Neither one are that bad as far as out of the wayness goes. However, there are only now there are quite a few opportunities for us to nab the Chaos Emeralds, even in Sonic 3's easy mode. When we get to Sonic and Knuckles easy mode, however, that's a whole other story. As there are exactly 7 giant rings that Sonic can get to in vanilla Sonic and Knuckles on easy mode. Just 7! Meaning you get one, meaning you can't afford to screw up a single time if you want to get all the Chaos Emeralds. Also, something else I forgot to mention. The special stages do not speed up at all on easy mode. So the running speed here remains completely stacked all throughout. Whereas on normal, whereas in the original, and I'm presuming normal difficulties, they will speed up incrementally. And periodically as you proceed through these special stages. Not sure the full science behind that though. But we got 2 emeralds right off the bat. 5 more to go, and we will only be able to get 1 more the next level. And another one in the level after that. So we won't have access to Super Sock until pretty close to the end of the game. Also, if you're curious, the main difference between Sock 3 and Sock 3 and Knuckles in terms of save functionality is that Sock 3 and Knuckles also keeps track of your number of lives and continues. Vanilla Sock 3 does not. They only keep track of your level progress and and what Chaos Emeralds you've acquired. So again, fewer enemies, fewer obstacles. And it takes 3 hits to kill every boss of the game. So that's Angel Island in the book, specifically Angel Island Part 1. It is a shame we won't be hearing that boss music anymore because it's kind of rockin'. Because all the other zones in this game are just the Act 2s of those zones. No more Act 1s of Sonic 3. Which is a shame. Because that is a pretty rockin' track. My Uncle Mark had the theory, back when he was alive and still playing Sonic games, that the person piloting the sub-bosses in Sonic 3 was Knuckles, the Echidna. That would be wild, but would not be something that would enter the arena of possibility until we can tell that Sonic is probably a little bit faster than Tails. Just a little bit. At the very least, Sonic accelerates a little faster than Tails does. So I'm making use of Tails' 2-player functionality so I could cheese this section because it's a shortcut. Prospects for shortcutting is great in Hydrocity. If I wasn't taking advantage of shortcuts, we'd have 2 shots at the special stages here. I honestly do believe that we would be making headway by a tremendous amount if we just went through with... Alright, I'm trying to wait for Tails. I'm experimenting to see, okay, when or where should I try flying to the next destination? I eventually determined it's not worth it from this angle. It's not how high you are, but how close you are to the other side. So now I have to once again wait for Tails. I'm definitely gonna curb this habit when I do the time attack mode next time. So just consider this practice. So we missed our chance at getting a Chaos Emerald here, but we will have another shot right here, and of course there's a bridge that wasn't there before. And we begin special stage number 3. throws. That's another set, cluster rings. I'm just really tired. I've been recording a ton of these videos back to back just now. Alright, I'm just going through the motions here. Also, I'm gonna aim for the perfect every single time because perfect playthroughs. I'm gonna jump over one of these so I can have this cluster and all the rings they're in and earn ourselves a perfect. What is interesting though is that Sonic 3's normal difficulty setting seems to be modeled after the Sonic 3 and the Sonic 3 portions of Sonic 3 and Knuckles level designs and changes. With very little else added in or taken away in return. So original Sonic 3, you're basically playing the original game as the developers intended. I also, believe it or not, covered that, but in the finale for Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I'm just gonna head over to the boss. And I'm gonna try to use the Bowl Shield to take him out in 3 hits. It is possible to get on top of his head and just completely cheese him, though. So that's Hydra City in the books. Now we are going to take on Marble Garden. Specifically Marble Garden Act 2. Which means that we don't get that many chances at a Chaos Emerald. In fact, there's only one shot we have at it. And believe it or not, by studying up the map, the fastest route through this zone is actually taking the lower path. I am not joking. Don't take the upper path if you want to get through the stage as quickly as possible. You want to take the lower path. The reason why is because a lot of the upper path options are either way too dangerous to pursue, or require a specific or is too much of a detour, or can only really be taken advantage of by either Tails or Knuckles. Ugh. So obviously you have to hop over that to make it over there. I'm gonna take out this cluster and then I'm gonna make my move towards the big cluster in the middle so I can get my perfect. Honestly, so long as we only have 1 or 2 solo blue orbs left that can't be converted otherwise, I'm good. So now we just have to take care of this cluster and we are off to the races. And that was easy. Unfortunately, this is the only Chaos Emerald we'll have access to in this stage, as the others are a little too out of the way to get to and will just completely throw off our timing if just trying to pursue them. Oh. So I'm gonna do something crazy, just jump over that so I can add the Thunder Shield. This will come in handy for the remainder of this level, as it will not only draw rings to us, acts as a double jump, mid-air jump. I took that so I could skip through this part, and this saves, and that is a huge, huge shortcut. And the best part is it's not a real sequence break, it's just understanding the level layout and knowing where you have to go and timing it. Oh. So I have the flame shield. That's gonna be more helpful for this coming section more than anything. I mean, it could be helpful if you hold on to it for the Eggman fight that's coming up, but alright. Sorry, I'm just spacing out. Anyways, I want to pick up the Thunder Shield now. And I got the invincibility. That might help a little bit at dealing enemy damage to the boss. We only really need to hit him twice though, as he is as during this cycle he is otherwise completely impervious to being killed. Though he'll still take damage. Very close. Too close, but we made it. Alright. Alright, and this is the trick. We got time to jump. So we could get this giant ring here. This is a very easy special stage, but it kind of puts us in an awkward spot where we have to take on this stage the long way. But there is a way around this. As long as we avoid having any rings once we finish this special stage, and we actually fall down here to where we are playing Sonic's Jam, that is where we're gonna be. Yeah, getting two clusters at the same time make my job a little easier. Have the same captain, the same rings, and the same general strategies. Now, their grandparents are really... so their grandparents are really just at home enjoying their retirement. Ugh. It's 5 down, 2 more to go, and now that we got the Chaos Emerald, let's put this exploit to use so we can actually continue on. As per normal, no drinks. We want to go down here, drop down. There's a bat enemy around here. Oh, I died! And now we respawn back at the start. So now we can cheese this entire section, and believe me, what I just did, taking that death, is actually much faster than simply continue on with the level. I swear to God, dying here is actually faster. I literally had to resort to my preschool days of playing Sonic, where I purposefully got myself killed because I thought it was a little fussy on the different ways I could die. I was also admittedly probably a little too young for video games at the time. Oh, I wasn't, well, for what it's worth, at least I wasn't mishandling the controller. Or the console. Okay, I eat my baby brother. I can't be mad at you for you ever. You made a delicious Thanksgiving this year. And it seems that he's also taking a pretty good care of my mom's home. Alright, so there's 24 more ring or blue orbs, so I'm just gonna nab these two and just clear out this cluster. I'll get the rest when once I'm ready to backpedal. Yeah, the stage ain't speeding up at all because it's easy mode. Ah. And that's 6 down, just one more Chaos Emerald to go. And unfortunately, there isn't another convenient one that we could just go up and get in Carnival Night Act 2. We will have to wait for Ice Cap Act 2 to get. Yes, you heard that right, it's Act 2. Fortunately, even though it's the only convenient special stage for us to get in that stage, it is also our final Chaos Emerald. And the level is mostly free as well. Alright. I'm literally navigating this place without the bubble shield, so that's a bit risky. So far, I haven't drowned yet. Alright. Wow, I'm surprised it took that long for the drowning music to start. So yeah, I'm just navigating this area. I want to be able to nab the Thunder Shield. Thunder Shield is really good to carry with us for the rest of this level. The spikes here. The switch, and we absolutely need a spin dash here. And we're ignoring the star post. And on easy mode, the Barrel of Doom is no more. This is our next location of extra life. Just spin dashing to the other side, on top, and then curling up into the ball. Alright. 3 minutes, not counting the first few seconds just before I died in Carnival Night. At the beginning of Carnival Night 2. Not counting that. Alright. And that's another extra life in the books. Alright, Ice Cap 2, so once again, we're facing Eggman again. Try to get Tails to fly me to the top. It took a lot longer than it probably should have. But I will be saving a ton of time going forward, but with this... Can't believe I killed that ore or not. So I'm literally trying to stay up top so I can avoid the lower sections altogether. Alright. Alright, and now I'm gonna keep on staying on top. And of course I need to tilt myself a little to the right so I can continue farming for lives and continues. Come on, stay awake. This is our final special stage. Let's just clear out these remaining rings and we will be let go. Wait, it's not one of those things. Oh, one of those things were guns and weapons and other juvenile equipment. Yeah, it also has too much of a conscience to act on these dark impulses. Ugh. Here's I didn't see how it ended, but at least we got the Chaos Emerald. And we can now freely turn to Super Sonic, provided of course we do not have an elemental shield already equipped. Sonic 3 updated the Super Sonic mechanics so that it requires that you have at least 50 rings in your party. And I forgot what I was gonna say. That's right. But we cannot turn to Super Sonic while we have this shield up. Which I think is good enough for when I finally bring this perfect playthrough to a close. But I think it'll take another year or so to complete everything there is to do in that game 4 times and then have something recorded for episode 6. Alright, we... Alright, I'm just trying to make do with what I have. Always try to kill that badnik before you hop on that rope because you have no idea when he'll let go of you, and this is, by the way, it should be known that Carnival Night, Ice Cap, and Launch Base also had their music tracks altered and changed due to Sega not wanting to get in trouble with the Jackson estate, since Michael Jackson did do some uncredited work on that, and that was the last giant ring that we have access to in the entire game. Oh, we got there all that fast already? And rust. I'll spin dash over those spikes. I wait for that bird to show so I can kill it. Now I'm gonna ruin a potential plot twist just for a plot convenience. Like this flame shield, that may help a lot. Oh. I want to try to flamethrower my way into him, but it only takes 3 hits to kill, so yeah. This is the final level. I'm so tired. Final battle. By the way, unlike in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, Tails will not rejoin you once he falls into the water as you board this Eggmobile. He simply won't in Vanilla Sonic 3 because this is supposed to be Vanilla Sonic 3's final battle. But really, it was just the main boss event of the stage. And had that original script been preserved, Knuckles would have teamed up back up with you right here and now. Instead, Sonic is by himself. And also, I'm glad that it just takes 3 hits to get through each of Eggman's moves. Now this is gonna be tricky. You need to hit him 2 times while he's passing by, plus 2 times as he's ducking and then rising back up again during the back and forth sequence. And he wound up taking out my shield, so I got turned to Super Sonic. Only time we got to see him in action is Vanilla Sonic 3, and it takes 3 hits to kill him. Because I forgot, this is easy mode, not normal or original. So we know for a fact the legendary Devil Fruit... Wait, what am I saying? Don't worry, we'll hear more of the final boss track later. But watch as the death egg in this ending goes boom. Leaving not a speck of trace of it remaining, even though it survived its crash back down to Angel Island. But that is the ending for Sonic 3 in a nutshell, and here's some copyrighted music from the Jackson estate playing in the background. And this track brings back tons of memories. Like to when I was a kid, when I finally, on my final life, finally managed to beat Dr. Robotic. Of course, I didn't have any Chaos Emeralds for this fight. But we were just a day or two away from moving to Pennsylvania at the time. So I only had so many chances at this game, and I was so elated to finally beat this game. First game I ever beat by myself, to be honest with ya. Kashi Tanasuda. And it definitely takes me back to when we were at Grandma and Grandpa's. We were in the basement, the little underground dwelling, playing Sonic 3 on the TV, and I was while reading some of the Sonic Archie comics, and I checked out the covers for the Death Egg arcs, and it definitely fit, and the music definitely fit the cover arts for those comics like a glove. So, yes, I definitely have some special fond memories for Vanilla Sonic 3, even though Sonic 3 Knuckles is technically the definitive Sonic 3 experience, and Sonic & Knuckles is probably the objectively better game all around than Sonic 3. Sonic 3 has a save feature that's mostly pointless. Sonic & Knuckles does not, even though it's been a big help. So yeah, I have to let the credits roll because I cannot just pause the game during the end credits so we could go back to the main so that we could go back to the main hub of Sonic Jam. Sorry, we just have to. But this is the perfect playthrough ending here, but without Knuckles, or the Sonic 3 and Knuckles bit. So I'm just gonna hurry through this, and I can pause my game and I can exit it now. And next time, we are taking on the extra game modes, Time Attack, and special stages for Sonic 3. And look here, we unlocked all the Time Attack stages. So now we know we are ready for next time, when we take on extra games with Time Attack and special stages. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I greatly appreciate it. And with that out of the way, this is Mike Gordon, sign out.